Welcome to the special report for Underground. Obviously, the update for Underground is coming out tomorrow for Xbox and PC, and then we have PS4 following a bit after that. We do have a little bit of a delay on the 1.3 content for PS4 users, but next week.
Yeah, we're looking at next week, probably Tuesday.
Yeah, we want to get that out to you guys as soon as we can. So we're working really hard on that. There's a new incursion for people who have bought the Underground expansion called Dragon's Nest. We're going to show some of that later. We can't do the whole thing, but there's a lot of cool stuff in there. There's rumors of a new cleaner weapon that you're going to have to deal with. Ooh. And there's obviously the 4 horsemen you might have seen in the trailer a little bit earlier. And there's going to be the heroic mode is coming out 1 week after, but it will still be challenging and hard.
Yeah.
All right, so you still get 2 modes. And then for the max level gear score items, 229, 268, that will be tied to heroic mode.
Yeah.
Correct? Yep. There are new challenge modes for the new main missions.
Yeah.
Well, no, the old main missions. But the Hudson Refugee Camp and Queen's Tunnel Camp are now getting challenge modes. And all of those ones that have challenge modes will also have heroic modes now. Oh, and you'll also get heroic mode for Falcon Lost and Clear Sky.
Yeah,
straight off the bat. And then 1 week later for Dragon's Nest.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to get the max level gear score items for all of those sets.
Yeah, which is very good. That's a way for all players to actually get the best item, even if you actually don't own the expansion.
That's cool.
If you really liked one of the old gear set, we didn't want to leave them behind. So you can do pretty much the same content as you did before to get the set, just with an higher difficulty to get those new nice gear score.
Right, and the base of operations has expanded as well. The terminal is a new shared social space. It's at the back of the base next to the reward claim vendor. Hopefully we can show that a little bit later on. Number of mod slots on things. So those are now set.
Yeah.
Yes.
The mod slots are set for each different type of gear piece.
Right.
Well, you will have the chance to experiment that, but now that we get more and more used to the loot, we are pretty happy with the loot being the best source of items for your game compared to crafting. Crafting is still here, of course, but now we want to help the player a little bit with the pretty hardcore RNG that we have in the game, and fixing the mod slot will actually help a lot with that. So
dealing with that. But chest will have 2 mod slots all the time now. Mask will get 1, knee pad will get 1, backpack will get 1, gloves and holster will have no mod slots. You don't have to worry about.
The holster will have the 3 stats guaranteed.
Yes. Stats.
But that means, just to be clear, because I've seen some people talking about it, that means that you won't be able to recalibrate to get an extra mod slot. So
no, you can't get like 3 on a...
So it's a fixed amount, and that's it.
And taken completely off the recalibration loop. Okay. Sentry and Striker, we did talk about those on the state of the game being changed a bit. So the 3-set bonus, the 2 and 3-set bonus are being... reduced, and they're being shifted to a 5-set bonus. There is a bit of confusion. We talked about it a little bit earlier. The 4-set bonus stays in the same place and gives you exactly the same benefit, but the 2 and 3-piece bonuses are shifted to 5-piece.
Yeah. So if you want to use the set with only 4 pieces, you will still have the same bonuses from it. The 2 and 3 bonus will be slightly lower than what they used to be before. But you can still use the set with 4 pieces only.
Yeah, you still get the talent from it.
And if you want to get all those bonuses that were a little bit overpowered before, if you still want to use them, you have the opportunity to do that. But then you will have to use 5 pieces instead of 4.
New Dark Zone bracket.
Yep.
231 plus. You can still get the best gear in the top level. So DZ 5 and 6 in the 231 gear score bracket will drop max gear score items. The Dark Zone chest now scale better with the gear score bracket and the name zone you were in, because we had an issue where you were still getting like 163s out of chests, and you're like...
the chests were not really part of the
so now they will be part of your loot Dark Zone farming.
Yes. So now you have a reason to open chests.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. The other changes coming in, the high risk, high value targets have their rewards and difficulty adjusted, so you can still get the max level stuff from that. Okay. All right. And this in the UI, you'll see it in just a second. The base weapon damage value, so you can easily compare it. Yeah, and then you'll have like an additional additional effect of additional DPS through mods and talents that you can see. All right, those ones are good. A few notable bug fixes. players using medkits while having the combat medic talent equipped would result in destroying allied skills proxies, so, destroying people's smart covers and that sort of thing. And also, healing yourself for 40% more health, that's been fixed. So combat medic has been fixed. There's some ballistic shield fixes. What else is worth noting? Some of the chat lag and freezes in the Dark Zone due to VoIP fixed.
Yeah, the stuttering in the Dark Zone, which was very annoying, and linked to the VoIP.
Let's get into it. Let's start with the gear sets. So we've got 5 new gear sets. 4 of these are tied to the Underground DLC. But one of them, if you haven't bought the Underground DLC, you'll still get a really, really good gear set. You'll have actually...
That's a very nice outfit you're wearing.
You could start with the Alpha Bridge set. This one's really cool, actually. So the talent is actually very, very interesting. So what'll happen with the 4-piece? Yes. You can activate all the talents on 2 of your weapons. Well, kind of, because it has been a little bit unclear for people who have been like, oh my god, all your talents are activated. What's some of the... there's a requirement as well.
So there is a requirement. First of all, you need to have equipped your primary and secondary weapon needs to be from the same type. So either 2 assault rifle, 2 marksman rifle, or 2 SMGs, or 2 shotguns. They need to be the same type. As soon as you do that, and of course you have 4 pieces of that set equipped, each talents of those 2 weapons will always be active. So if you are using the weapon A, you will also benefit from the talents on your secondary weapon. Yeah. Unless they are the same talents. So you will not be able to stack the same talent twice if you have the same talent on your 2 weapons.
So you can't run with like 2 brutals or 2 deadlies or that sort of thing.
But as soon as your talent has activated, so you have the requirement for it in terms of stat, then you will benefit from the 2 talents with each of your weapon, which can be pretty insane combos.
It also just works when you're using one of these 2 weapons, right? Not with the sidearm.
No, not with the sidearm.
You're not going to get a pistol with 5 talents.
No.
Okay. Damn. All right. Damn it. But that one's super cool. And just to be extra clear, we said it before, but that one is coming free to everyone.
Yes.
With the update, you'll be able to access that regardless of if you own the Underground DLC or not.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have next? We've got the blind set. This one's interesting. So I'm just going to come forward and read this. Obviously, you get the pulse crit hit damage, and killing a target creates a flashbang effect at their position. That one's cool.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to have a flashbang skill, but if you get that, you're going to have some extra crowd control.
It's the underground gear set because it fits a little bit the fantasy of being underground. It's the darkness, and that's where the blind and the flash is coming from. And it's actually pretty good to be able to just shoot at NPCs if they are a little bit stacked together. Then that creates a flashbang, a little bit of crowd control. You can focus on something else. It's a pretty cool mechanic.
Yes, and we also talked about in the state of the game last time. There's a blind battle rifle, which, to be clear, people played it in the E3 build and loved it, but it still needs some working on, and we'll get that in an update when we can. But it's a really cool gun, but it definitely needs some work before it gets into the game.
And also just talking about E3, so some of these gear sets were available in the E3 build, and if you see the stats now, you will see that they probably changed, but because we said at E3 to the people testing it there that actually the gear sets were not final yet, the stats and everything, so it's normally now they are different because back then they were still just very much temporary.
Nice. All right, what else do we have, Gabe? We've got Deadeye.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, what's this one?
So that's the marksman rifle set, basically. What it does, so let's try to be clear about it. So with that set, as long as you don't aim down sight, and when we say aim down sight, it's like really looking through the scope.
Yeah.
So if you don't look through the scope, you will lose your headshot bonus on your marksman rifle. But on the other side, all your shots are crit, guaranteed 100% crit chance for all your shots. But you lose the headshot modifier. On the other side, if you are aiming down sight, then you will be able to use your marksman rifle.
That one's cool.
Before. It's like if you really spec for crit damage, it
That's what I was gonna say.
increase a lot your DPS, but at the same time, it's really like just the feeling of landing every shot being a crit is a really good gameplay feeling as well.
Nice. All right, what's next, Gabe? We have Reclaimer. We missed the Fire Crest. We'll come back to that. Reclaimer. That's all right.
Stay on the Reclaimer. Stay focused.
Reclaimer is our consumable, our kind of buff bot.
Yeah. So that's the support set. So the consumables have some cool mechanics in the game, but we realize that they are not that much used right now for both PvP and PvE, and that set will hopefully bring some love to them. So what it does is, if the person using the set use a consumable, everyone from his team will benefit from the bonus of that consumable.
Yes.
So if you are using Fire Bullet, then everybody in your team will benefit for free from Fire Bullets.
Yes. Things to keep in mind with this, though, because I know it sounds scary, and to be honest, I was scared the first time I read it. You can actually already do this with team coordination. If everyone has Fire Bullets, you can always pop Fire Bullets. So it's not doing something that you can't already do. It just means that you don't really have to coordinate in the same kind of way. And the cooldown still applies. So it's not like you can run around with Fire Bullets all the time.
No, as soon as the Fire Bullet effect is done, or any other consumable, then all your team will be on consumable cooldown until the next one.
Exactly. Also, the other thing to keep in mind is that you will also have the new Fire Bullets. So instead of a 10-second debuff, it's only 3 seconds now.
Yeah.
So it's not as scary as I once.
But even for PvE, I mean, using some water or soda, that's also.
Oh, the water is going to be really important.
Yeah.
So like if everyone just because I always forget to do it as well. But if like at every time the buff bot, which I guess will maybe be me or I don't know, depending on if I forget to do that or not, it's going to really help. Was it 20% damage to elites?
Yep.
Crazy.
Pretty useful in PvE.
Really, really important. Okay, we've got one more, which is Fire Crest, I think.
Yep.
All right. Explain this one for us. All right, so we get the reload speed and incendiary bullets capacity. That's nice, but killing a burning target grants incendiary bullets for 10 seconds. That's cool. So unleash the fire. That's nice.
And if you manage to time it properly and coordinate with your team to be able to actually kill the targets, it's really cool to be able to juggle a little bit with the fire bullets. Like you can first use either a fire bullet or an incendiary grenade or anything that will burn something. Then you kill it, and then you can keep using your fire bullet all the time if you manage to.
As long as you're killing stuff.
As long as you're getting the last hits.
Yeah.
All right, shooting range time. So what are we going to have a look at first? Showstopper first. All right, so this one actually has a talent that is unique to the gun where it's called the Showstopper. The talent where it will give you increased accuracy depending on how empty your clip is. So you'll see it when Gabe shoots and empties.
So that's an automatic shotgun. So pretty deadly. And the more you shoot actually, so the more empty your magazine is, the more accuracy you get from it.
Yeah.
Which can be very deadly for the last few shots of the magazine because all your bullets are really centered.
That's really cool.
Yeah, the reload speed.
It takes a little bit of time to reload that
drum. The reload speed is coming from the gear set that he's using.
That's not part of the. That's not part of the gun.
All right.
So here you see also the base damage and.
Oh yeah, so the UI.
Yeah.
So what you see on the left is just the base damage. So it'll always compare that, and then the added in parentheses on the right is what is being contributed to by the talents and the mods that you have equipped.
And any kind of bonuses that you might have.
Yeah, talents or... Yeah.
So that's something that has been asked a lot by the community. Like every time you get a new weapon, you want to compare it with the one you are using, but the one you are using as mods, so you have to unequip them. That's much easier to compare weapon now.
But the other big thing that has come with this update is weapon recalibration. So show us the way, Gabe. All right, so just while we run upstairs... this is something that the community have been asking for a long time. Yeah. Right? I mean, that's a report that Yannick and I get all the time.
Yeah, but that's been part of the suggestions since pretty much day one, I think. And even before day one with like the betas already. So, yeah.
It makes sense. The talents on the weapon are so, like, are so important for the actual handling, the way you play with your weapon and stuff. And sometimes the RNG gods are not really with you. So it's a really nice addition. If you have already a good weapon, you will be able to recalibrate one of the talents that it already has.
Exactly. But the thing is, sometimes the RNG gods are with you 2/3 of the way.
Yeah.
So now you can now you'll be able to get that third slot and be like, well, actually, I wish I had this instead. And it's going to cost you weapon kits and Phoenix credits. Those weapon kits, you can craft those, or they actually drop as well.
They drop from different activities, but the main source for them will be crafting. So you can craft them with any high-end crafting material type.
Cool.
So either clothes, fabric, tools, electronic, or weapon parts. So if you have too much of one crafting material, you can use that to craft your weapon parts.
Nice. All right, Gabe, can we do some recal? Did you maybe on that pistol? You can do the LMG. All right. You can take skilled.
Skilled. Whoa, nice.
Nice.
So you will not be able, of course, to have the same talent twice. It will always select from the pool of available talent, and every time you start the recalibration and you recalibrate, you will always have access to the previous talent you had, same as the current recalibration work.
Yeah,
in case you don't find what you're looking for, you can still at least go back to what you had before.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've seen here when you were recalibrating that there was a mention of the amount of recalibrations you can still do.
Yeah.
So is that something new that we're implementing here?
No, I think it should be the same for the gear as well. You can recalibrate up to 6 times your gear, and it's the same for the
It just
weapon.
wasn't shown before.
I think because the thing is right now, basically you'll get to a point where you couldn't recalibrate any more than that because it'll require more than the Phoenix credits that you can hold.
And you couldn't get that
So
many Phoenix credits.
It's impossible.
It's just nice,
Anyway.
shown more clearly.
You got 6 tries to get a talent that you like, which is still a lot.
And you get 4 talents every time you try. So
Exactly.
Or 1 of 4. So yeah.
All right, that's you're going to get some good weapons. And actually, when you think about it, it's if you look at the community as a whole and their collective DPS, that's a big increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will be able to recalibrate the weapon that you already have, of course.
Yeah, so that works retroactively on all weapons. So if you have a really, really good gun that you like right now and you want to make it a bit better, you can do that.
And one thing that has been asked also, you can, of course, recalibrate the third talent, the one that doesn't have any requirement. You can recalibrate it, and the talent which will replace it will not have any requirement as well.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, it's super cool.
Nice. All right. I hadn't actually thought about that before, but I think it's about time to get into some gameplay. We're gonna. That. Did you see that? Did you see that thing?
It was very brief.
Yes, this is important. You can now, if you missed the patch notes, you can now use high-end division tech to craft any kind of high-end crafting materials you want. Because we know that a lot of you people out there have a surplus of division tech. There are even some people out there who are division tech capped. That is true. But you can now use that for whatever. So you can do some more crafting.
This was also a very common suggestion we had following patch 1.2. People were starting to have too many division tech. So everybody was like, why can't we just convert our division tech into crafting material? So
there you go.
There you are.
You have it.
Perfect. All right. We're going to let Gabe run over to the underground. The terminal. That's a good point, Gabe. So the terminal, like we said before, is a new space in the base of operations. It's a social space. A lot of the vendors have moved there, correct?
Some of them, yes. The most useful one, basically, for the hardcore endgame players.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's take a look around here. So this is next to, you go in next to the rewards claim vendor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. And actually, you can fast travel in here now.
Yeah, so that's super
which
good.
is cool for people who...
And of course, it's empty right now, but...
You'll see people in here. Gabe just has no friends right now. Everyone knew Gabe was going to be here, so they left. So yeah, your HVTs are down here, which is really good because
you fast travel a lot when you're doing HVT, so
exactly
you can directly fast travel to this
place. When we say you can fast travel here, that means that you don't have to walk. When you fast travel to the base of operation, you have to walk a little bit.
Yep.
Crafting
station, that's nice.
And this is an expansion of the base of operation, so you can actually walk from here to the base of operation as well. So yeah.
Very nice. Lots of good stuff. What else do we have in here? Is it the special blueprints vendor? Nice. All right.
Also because the special vendor was split in 2 different vendors.
Now we have 2 vendors. The old one was becoming a little bit crowded with all the items and blueprints.
Yeah.
So now we separated them in 2 vendors. So one is selling only blueprints, the other one is selling only items.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right.
Okay, so you can matchmake as well.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But here's what you have to do. You have to make an operation. Right now you'll see Gabe doesn't have any directives enabled. But you can actually choose, obviously,
So
difficulties.
here you select your difficulty. You can start with a hard, I guess. I don't know. Well,
I think you guys can start with hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys will be easy. Just do, one phase.
And so you see that all of that basically unlocks as you rank up your underground rank. So right now everything is blocked because Gabe is a noob and he's probably rank very low. Rank 6.
Nice.
Yeah. So he just has access to the first difficulty levels and the first type of phases and everything, and also directives are not going to all be unlocked. But then
so
as you rank up, you unlock more options.
Yes.
Exactly.
And the directives, so that's basically everything here is about difficulty and reward. So you can choose really your own difficulty and tweak it. And from that tweak, you will have the best reward for your difficulty. So if you select different directives, then you will have a better reward at the end because the experience can be actually much tougher.
Yeah.
And if you select longer phase, so different phases, of course, the reward will be better at the end, etc. So
nice.
It offers
So you
the
can
player
stack all these bonuses and have like a 3-phase heroic with all the directives.
Oh,
then
if anyone
you
can
might
do
die.
that, like
You might die.
That's the thing. If you do a 3-phase on heroic with all the directives, I will high five the crap out of you. That's ridiculous. Like 5. Yeah, I'm sorry, because the thing is, like with 3 phases, it's a risk and reward type thing. You could have done a 1 phase and get the reward at the end of 1 phase, but basically you're gambling. Like, I'm so confident that I can get through 3 phases, but if you die on phase 2, you don't get the reward from phase 1.
No.
Yeah.
If you guys wipe, start again.
Because that's the thing. If you wipe in an underground mission, you're
Start
done.
again?
Yeah.
You have to start again. So.
And because everything is generated randomly, well, you will have to start again, but you will not even start the same dungeon.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's all.
So that's the thing. I mean, you could actually start an operation with like 3 phase and all the directives, heroic mode and everything, and end up with a map that is still kind of, I won't say easy, but maybe a bit better to approach.
Depending on the faction that you might.
And then you start
encounter.
again, and you could have a map that actually might be a bit more challenging, depending on.
Exactly. The other thing to keep in mind here is that obviously we have incursions that are focused towards group content, but this scales. So if I want to solo something, I can totally do that.
Yeah.
You will encounter less enemies and that sort of thing. So it's manageable to do solo, or with 2 people or 3 people or 4 people. So you will get a different experience, which is cool because if you just feel like, like if Gabe invites me and I'm like, dude, I don't want to play with you tonight. I just want to
leave me alone.
I just want to play solo, dude. You can do that, which is cool. And the release date is tomorrow. So we have maintenance from 9 till 12 tomorrow, our time.
Yeah.
And at the end of that maintenance, this will be live for Xbox and PC players. We do have an issue getting the PS4 patch out to you guys. We're sorry about that, but that's going to be out as soon as we can, looking at next week for that.
So once again, it's like the patch that contains the free content comes out tomorrow for Xbox One and PC and will come out probably next Tuesday on PS4. And then the DLC or the underground mode that comes with the expansion is also made available tomorrow for Xbox One and PC and on August 2nd for PS4. Guess it to 40.
Nice. Underground rank up.
Yeah. And
you get an underground
sealed cache.
Nice. Do you get that every time?
No, you get them when you level up. Each time you will level up your underground rank, you will receive a sealed cache, and you can get them from other reward in that game mode.
So what do you get?
Again,
in
these
there?
dropped in hard mode. Oh, wow. Okay.
So those caches. So what's inside? It's not really based. So you will get one every time you rank up in the underground. And it's not based on the difficulty of the mission you did, because it's just when you rank up, it's based on actually the current gear score that you have. Because we wanted the content itself inside to be useful for every player.
Okay.
So if you are already maxed with your gear score and you just enter the underground, you will get rewards corresponding to your actual gear score, which is really cool.
You brought up a good point, and now might be a good time to talk about it. We know a lot of people are using very tanky tactician builds in the Dark Zone.
Yes.
And you had a really good point, because I think a lot of people, while they know about the damage cap on sticky bombs, that hasn't really been part of the discussion.
So right now, for those who don't know, what we call the tactician, which is basically maxing your stamina, toughness, and skill power to be able to use your sticky bomb. So you lose basically all your primary DPS from your weapon, but you have a very deadly sticky bomb. And right now, it's actually pretty easy to one-shot players with it. And because you are already tanky, it's really hard to get you down.
Yep.
With that update, so first of all, there is an overall weapon pass, which will increase the damage of the player. We're also increasing the gear score, so you will get more damage as well, just from increasing your stats. And at the same time, the base damage of the sticky bomb is not going to increase.
So you're still going to cap out.
Yeah, I think it's capped at 250k, basically.
Yeah.
On top of that, you need to add the damage mitigation versus players, because there is a mitigation if you are facing other players. And just with increasing the new gear score, you will have more health. You will have a little bit more exotic damage resistance if you want to, and it will be actually much harder to one-shot people with a sticky bomb. We are still, as we said before, of course, we are still keeping an eye on that meta to see how it evolves. We still think that it's rewarding, and it should be rewarding to really spec toward a very specific build. We don't want it to break completely the balance of the game. So, of course, we will keep an eye on that. But it should be less overpowered with the new gear score and with that update.
Nice. All right, and we'll definitely keep looking at it, because we want to make sure that everyone's having a good time.
So there are two things. There is the update 1.3, which is the free content that is coming to... What's happening?
I just pulled out a magic cup.
Okay. Update 1.3, which is the free content that is available to everyone, comes out during the maintenance tomorrow for Xbox One and PC players, and will come out next week for the PS4 players, because we had a small hiccup with this one and we had to delay it by 1 week. It was supposed to come out tomorrow in the same time as everyone else, but it's going to be next week. Then the second part is the expansion Underground, that is the Underground mode and the new incursion, and a few other things. This one also comes out tomorrow after the maintenance on Xbox One and PC, and actually you might already see it on your Xbox store right now, because it starts being displayed directly at midnight local time, I think.
Okay.
So it can still already, or it may already be displayed on your store, but you still can't play it until we actually deploy the patch tomorrow.
Yes. So there will be the maintenance tomorrow.
The maintenance tomorrow, so it will be available basically at 12 p.m. CEST, which is what we said, 6 EDT, 3 a.m. PDT.
Yes.
So that's when the servers open and the patch is already available. And you can start playing it.
Nice.
So for Xbox One and PC, and on August 2nd for PS4,